Hello, and welcome to another Learning has Changed CarCast, where I get to broadcast directly from the dashboard of my car using Google Glass and look forward so that I can keep some semblance of safety. I want to talk today about something that's been on my mind for the last few days and something that is really kind of jumbled in my head, but I want to ask a question, and it's a pretty big question that I think is sort of at the heart of what's been going on. And the question is this: what do we value in professional learning? What is the thing that we value, or the many things that we value? And the reason why I ask this is because we pay people to do certain things. We pay people in professional learning to lead sessions, right, to develop the sort of content and lead that session. We pay people to do that. We might pay people to take a session. And sometimes we pay people to actually act on something, like you actually have a plan or do something with the thing that you might have learned. But more often than not, it's actually only the first one that we value. We pay people to lead the sessions. And then when we ask people to sort of come, that is a volunteer basis. And the question I have is, should we value that? Should we value the time that someone takes to be a part of a learning experience? Should we value the actions that they take after that learning experience that show that they have sort of enacted the things that they have learned? And how do we value the things that are not sort of session-based? How do we value the reflective practice that is happening on your own, that is happening in a blog or in an open forum where you are in a community of practice and you're discussing something? How do we value those things? Because to a very large extent, we don't pay people to participate in an online community. We don't pay people to reflect on their practice and to have that level of self-reflection. Why is it that we only value these more official capacities of leading a session, developing a session, and only sometimes for the seat time that you are there? And so it makes me think that perhaps we need to rethink the ways in which we value. And it doesn't make me say, well, because I lead professional learning experiences from time to time, and I feel like, that should have some value, and we should pay people to engage in that. But is that, one, sustainable, and two, does that actually produce the best versions of those learning experiences that are possible? Is there another way that we can value those things? Is there another type of value that we can place upon that? And so while there are lots of considerations here, right? Like there are union contracts that talk about, how you have to pay people for certain experiences that you're leading or a part of and things like that. And I think that's good, because then you're actually having that conversation about the things that you value. But too often I think it just becomes if this kind of experience, then this much money. And not an equation that is more broad, like a conversation about what are the things that we are valuing in coming together. Because, an event, something like EdCamp, is entirely voluntary. No one is being paid anything to present, to take part in. And is that objectively better because no money is changing hands? Is it objectively better because we think there is going to be more choice and personalization? Or is it just simply, well, you can do that sometimes, but all of the other times you should pay people to take part? And so I want to think about the way in which we value people who organize, who facilitate, and who participate in professional learning. Is there a way that we can make these types of evaluations and valuations more transparent, so that we're not saying that there's nothing of value here, and we're not saying that people should not engage in them. Rather, we're saying that probably there's a lot of value here, and some of it is monetary, some of it is not. But there should be a conversation about that, and we should evaluate, what it is that's actually providing the value for those three different groups: the organizers, facilitators, and the participants. And hopefully those are not, mutually exclusive groups, but that people go between them. And so I wonder if you have any thoughts around, what do you value in professional learning, and what should we value? How do you pay people or not to engage in professional learning? Should we be engaged in the process of paying anyone for their own development? Or should it be an intrinsic motivation to develop yourself and to develop others? Those kinds of things I want to think through. So if you have any thoughts, please do let me know, and leave it in the comments or on Google Plus when I share it. Thanks so much for watching.